If you are a royal fanatic, this is the book for you. So let's dive into The Spare, written by Prince Harry, or should I say his ghostwriter. Anyways, buckle up folks, because things are about to get juicy. I mean, it's royal drama, so it's not that juicy, but it's kinda good. In Spare, Prince Harry dishes the tea on his wild ride as a royal. From partying with celebrities, to serving in the army and falling in love with Meghan Markle, this book has it all. But it's not all champagne and tiaras. Harry also opens about the struggles he faced during and after the death of his mother, Princess Diana. So he takes us on a journey through his decision to step back from the royal family and how he found happiness on his own terms. In the first chapters of Spare, Prince Harry reflects on the day he was born and how he was viewed as a spare to his brother Prince Williem. He talks about how his father Charles supposedly told his mother Diana that he had given him an heir and a spare, and how this affected him throughout his life. He also addresses and refutes the rumors that his father was not Charles but one of the Diana's lovers, James Hewitt.
I am your father.
He also compares the dynamic between him and his brother Williem as the spare and the heir to that of Princess Margaret and his grandmother Queen Elizabeth II. In these chapters, he also touches on the death of his mother Princess Diana and how it affected him and his family. Harry recounts being informed about her death early in the morning by his father, and how the idea of him and his brother walking behind their mother's coffin was horrifying to many adults. For 10 years, he believed that his mother was in hiding to escape press intrusions, and alleges that his brother Williem also used to have those thoughts. Again, he discusses how the summary conclusion of investigations into their mother's death was simplistic and absurd. He questions why the paparazzi that had been following her and the people who sent them were not in prison, unless it was all due to corruption and cover-ups being the order of the day. He also mentions that during his trip to Paris for the 2007 Rugby World Cup semi-final, he had a man drive through the same tunnel where his mother had died at 60 miles per hour, which he later admits was an ill-conceived decision that only brought him more pain. He also mentions that he asked for help from a woman who claimed to have powers to connect with his mother. Then, in Spare, Prince Harry shares some of his wilder teenage moments, like the time he experimented with drugs at 17 and describes the experience as not very fun. Also, he mentions that he took magic mushrooms at a party at Courtney Cox's house and had hallucinations.
Here's the deal. My track team is full of physically incapable rejects. I mean, if I wasn't the coach, I'd be laughing my ass off at how spastic they are.
And that he was frequently targeted by the editor of the News of the World, Rebecca Brooks, who was trying to gather evidence on his drug use. He also talks about a humiliating episode of losing his virginity to an older woman in a field behind a busy pub, and an incident at a bar where he was drinking heavily and trying to pick fights. These chapters also covers Harry's deployment to Afghanistan, where he flew on 6 missions and took out 25 Taliban members. He describes how he didn't view them as individuals, but rather as chess pieces to be taken off the board. Then again, he mentions that it's not a number that gave me any satisfaction, but neither was it a number that made me feel ashamed. He also shares how his brother Williem and future sister-in-law Catherine suggested that he should choose his Nazi uniform over his pilot uniform for a native and colonial-themed costume party in 2005, and how he liked Catherine when he first met her. He describes her as more sister than in-law and someone whom he liked seeing laugh. In the following chapters of Spare, Prince Harry dishes out all the juicy details on his relationship with his father Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles. He mentions that both he and his brother Williem had agreed on welcoming Camilla into their family on the condition that their father did not marry her. He also alleges that Camilla sacrificed him on her personal PR altar to improve her own public image and leaked minute details of a conversation she had with Williem to the press. He claims that Camilla had played a role in his mother's death because she had been pivotal in the disintegration of his parents' marriage. He describes his first time meeting her as unpleasant and mentions that Camilla turned his bedroom at Clarence's house into her dressing room as soon as he left.
What a bitch, right?
These chapters also cover William's wedding in 2011. Harry describes his role as William's best man as a barefaced lie and mentions that he didn't give the wedding reception speech, which he believes is a good thing as he could have said something wildly inappropriate. He also alleges that Williem was wasted on rum hours before his wedding. Then he talks about his relationship with Caroline Flack, whom he saw for a while before press intrusion tainted their relationship irredeemably. But he denies having relationship with Cameron Diaz despite tabloid rumors. He mentions that Britons among the most literal people on the planet were also the most credulous when it comes to believing tabloid rumors.
True, true.
In the following chapters, Harry talks about his relationship with Meghan Markle and their journey to fatherhood. He describes their first date, which included him accidentally wetting his pants on a boat with no toilet, and the early days of their relationship, where he admits to regretfully searching for Meghan's sex scenes on Suits. He also mentions that there were disagreements between Meghan and Catherine over flower girl dresses and the timing of the wedding rehearsal. Also, he touches the two signs that hinted he was going to have a child. The first of which involved Meghan singing to a group of singing seals, and the second one was Meghan taking 2 at-home pregnancy tests and placing the wands on his nightstand near the blue box that contained his mother's hair. Also, he confirms that they announced their pregnancy to the members of his family on the day of his cousin Princess Eugene's wedding. In the final chapters of the book, Harry discusses the infamous Sandringham showdown between himself and his brother Williem. He described the heated exchange that took place at Nottingham Cottage in 2019, where Williem criticized Meghan and their relationship with the press, and Harry defended Meghan and their decision to step back from their royal roles. He talks about how the tension between the brothers had been building for some time, and how this was the final straw that led to their decision to step back. Despite the tension, Harry also mentions that he and Williem have since made amends and are working towards healing their relationship. Then again, he mentions that he was surprised to lose his state-funded security after stepping back from his royal role as his uncle Andrew, who was accused of sexual assault of a young woman, was allowed to keep his. And also that the Sandringham summit was a fix by private secretaries of the royal household. Harry also describes a tense meeting with Charles and Williem following the funeral of his grandfather, Prince Philip, in April 2021, where the Charles stated, "Please boys, don't make my final years a misery."
Misery, 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 that's what you've chosen.
He also mentions that his father told him explicitly that he should come alone to the Balmoral on the day of Queen Elizabeth II's death, and after being refused permission to be buried at Althorp next to his mother in the event of his death. Eventually, Harry mentions that he has chosen the Frogmore Estate as his burial site. In conclusion, while Spare delves into some family drama, there are also inspirational moments that I enjoyed reading. However, it's important to note that this book is definitely geared towards a royal fanatic and may not be for everyone. If you're considering buying this book, I hope this little summary gives you a better idea of what to expect. But keep in mind that in order to fully understand and build up a story in your mind, it's best to read the book yourself. Okay then, let's see you in the next one.